Welcome to Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. Divine Kika is a radiant force, overflowing with positive energy, guiding you to a heart-opening, blissful, authentic tantric experience. This show will help you to expand your joy, cultivate more intimacy in your life, and rediscover the pleasure within your personal relationship. Dive in and discover untapped intimacy and true joy for yourself or with your beloved. Bring back the harmony and happiness that you long for. Let's begin an unforgettable journey that will leave an imprint on your heart and soul forever. Welcome to Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. Here's your host, Divine Kika.
Welcome to another edition of the Tantra Lounge. My name is Greg, and I'm here with the lovely, incomparable Divine Kika. Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to be back. Because for a couple weeks, I was not featured. We had interviews we had guests in the studio, and I always enjoy listening to what you have to say. But then I have all these thoughts and these questions, and I want to dive into them. So now I bring them to this show, and we have so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
We have a full show.
I'm so happy to be here again. We're going to have another hour of great time.
I know, and we learn so much from you. I'm sure anyone who listens to the show regularly understands that you've opened us up to a whole other world. And I think tonight's show is going to hold a special place for a lot of people because you've learned so much in your journeys and your travels of late. Before we get into all that, I will say you've been on, it seems like every week you're on a new TV station in big markets, LA, Tucson. Tell us a little bit about that. What is happening that they're bringing you into their shows to speak on love and kissing? And how did all this happen?
Magic.
You're the expert. You are the expert.
They found me.
I know they did. Well, maybe it was just a matter of you needing to be discovered, and finally it happened. You enlightened the world with all your wisdom. But you must love it.
The way I feel about it is that I'm having this call to travel and share this wisdom, share this love, and this bliss that I feel.
Right.
Because my biggest purpose in life is to create this understanding for people to really feel what I feel and beyond. And because I live in this kind of bliss land, and sometimes I go, oh, okay, this is a little bit too much. But what I've been doing is I've been talking about how you can lose weight by kissing, and it's true. You can actually do that.
I watched that on your clip this week, and I thought that was it's accurate. You burn calories, correct?
You burn if the kiss is passionate enough,
and if it's long enough, of course.
It's just long enough.
Yeah, 10 seconds just isn't going to get you to lose any waist inches on your waist. But you were doing the one you just did this past week was Tucson, and they bring you up. What do they specifically ask you? Like, we want you to speak about kissing passionately. Is that what happens?
Yeah. So this girls got so excited about my segment about how can you lose weight by kissing. They talked about it, and apparently on the newspaper, on the radio show that they have in Tucson, and everybody knew. And the segment is how can you lose weight by kissing? Right. So the average person spends 20,000 minutes of a lifetime kissing.
Really?
Yeah. 66% of people, they tilt their heads to the right when they're kissing, and 1/3 close their eyes when they're kissing.
Isn't it weird how you don't, I'm trying to figure out, first of all, which way I normally go.
Is it?
Because it doesn't feel natural to go right, but I do think I tend to lean right. But do most people switch, mid-kiss?
Well, there's something about, when we go to the right, we are going to the masculine, we are taking. When we go to the left, we are in the receptive and the feminine. To the heart side, we are receiving.
Okay.
People are not aware of this
dynamics. I didn't know
dynamics.
that. I also was trying to do math in my head on 20,000 minutes. And I'm like, I'm not good with math and numbers. So I'm like, 20,000 minutes, that's a lot of minutes.
So, yeah,
does that
let's
work
do the
out
math.
to be hours? I mean, how many hours is that? It has to be, 60 minutes, and I can't do it.
I don't know. I don't
much.
know. But what I do know is that 1 minute of passionate kissing can burn up to 6.4 calories.
1 minute?
Yes, and that's my favorite way to lose weight.
So you figure how many calories do you burn? 6?
6.4.
Wow.
Okay, so
if
you
could
kiss
burn
for
a
half
meal
an hour.
for an hour, get burn off lunch.
You make out real good. There's this hand on the thing on the hand, and then the kissing button.
I was gonna say, just be careful you're not just doing it with random people you work with. Because then it could turn into a whole other can of worms that you just don't want to really get into. But that is amazing that people might not realize that that this part of the passionate kissing can mean weight loss. Plus, it brings the spark back. I believe that kissing, no matter who you are, close your eyes and be kissed by somebody, and it like lights a fire, right? It almost sparks you to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And if you don't feel that way, there's something wrong with you, most likely.
So if we think about the kissing, what is kissing? Kissing is touch of two lips, two pieces of flesh.
Right.
We are beings of water. And this is the way human beings exchange waters.
Mm-hmm.
And if we think about that, our energy, and we have secretions in our body, all these juices. And then when we have the brain chemicals, and when people are nervous and stressed, they tend to smell different. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So when we are in blissful moments, we actually have more like of the sweet taste.
Yeah.
And then those are the juices that come out of us. And when we kiss, we are exchanging our waters. We are exchanging the juices of the energetic body.
Mm-hmm. So it's it creates like a love potion.
Well, exactly. You nail it. So what it does, it harmonizes the couple, vitalizes the giver, and nurture the receiver.
Oh, so
there's a lot to kissing.
But Dia, also, is there always a giver and a receiver in this? Because I would think it's a mutual practice.
Well, here's the thing: most people are used to kiss on just like there's a mutual thing, but there is a real gift when we allow ourselves to receive a kiss or to be the kisser. So in Tantra, we try to do this dance within the lovers where we either receive or give. And sometimes we mutually give and receive.
So it's sort of like a give and take, yes.
Yeah.
We all know the physical aspects of sex, but we rarely hear of the spiritual side. 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy Tonight by Divine Kika will bring you extraordinary bliss. This titillating and easy-to-read book will transform your ordinary sex life to breathtaking, amazing, powerful. Great for beginners, let this book be your first step to a happier love life. 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy Tonight. Available in hard copy, ebook, and audio format at divinekika.com. That's divine, Kika.com.
I'm real excited about your new book, 10 Tantric Sex Secrets. And it's really beautiful that you came out with this, and so I'm hoping that everybody can find it and read what she's written here and take a great start to your own tantric journey and take a look at this sweet book. It's a great little pamphlet. It's easy to read, and Kika's just wonderful.
It's amazing. Now, you've done this kissing segment. I know there was the one you did in L.A., was it 2-3 weeks ago maybe?
Yeah.
When you went to, the segment was similar. You could sense everybody on, like even the ladies you were talking to in L.A., on that, I think it was Fox maybe, or was it Fox? Something. One of
in Albuquerque, that was funny one. That was
yeah,
a funny
and
one.
you could
The
sense
guy.
like, yeah, but no, where the women were even like, you could tell them all of a sudden they get like giddy because I don't care, again, I don't care who you are, there's something that brings you back to the first kiss you ever had or the first passionate kiss you ever had where you get a little nervous and you're not sure, is this going to work out right? But you sensed it with your host that you were talking to, that they were getting like excited and giddy over it. Almost like you were going to kiss them. I was like, what's happening here? This could get weird on camera. But
That would be funny.
But it isn't, you learn about these things and it's absolutely incredible how many people don't have that knowledge, that just don't understand how important and how physical it is.
So 60% of dates are turned down. Like there's numbers over there, but I don't want to say that. I don't know exactly the numbers. But how many dates have you turned down from a bad kiss?
Oh, it
can ruin
breaker.
everything.
Right.
And the kiss can determine if a relationship is going to happen or not. The moment that you choose to kiss somebody, you're changing the dynamic of the relationship with that person.
Right.
You can turn a friendship into a love affair.
I've heard that people
through
who
a
aren't
kiss.
attracted to each other have it like that's, if you're on a date with somebody you're just not feeling it, you won't really know until you kiss the person, because once you kiss them, all of a sudden you might find yourself like, maybe I am attracted to this person. There's some sort of energy that's created.
Not.
Or you could be very attracted to somebody and then kiss them and be like, that was the worst thing that I've ever experienced. That's I'm sure it's happened to you, where you're like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do?
Sorry. Gotta
It's
get
the
out of
worst.
here.
Stiff mouth, like a stiff lipped kiss is the worst thing in the world. Exactly.
So
It's
that is 3
disgusting.
mistakes we want to avoid when we kiss.
Okay, tell us.
Okay? The first mistake is bad breath.
Mhm.
That is horrible. We want to brush our teeth and scrape our tongue.
And coconut oil. Did you hear
Yeah.
about
Oh,
that?
do the, what is it
The-
called?
you-
The
It's not a rinse. It's called a flush or
yeah, it's a detoxification of the mouth. Actually, it's a Ayurvedic practice where you rinse your mouth. They used to do it with sesame oil, but now
Yes.
people are doing with coconut.
You know what I'm
you
talking
switch
about, though. Okay, good.
your mouth.
Yeah, it's like
yes.
a swish they call it or something
Yeah,
like that.
and
Right.
it really is an amazing thing. And I'll have a little note on my Facebook talking about that.
It works because you completely neutralize any kind of
Yeah.
bacteria in your mouth.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's fantastic.
But anyway, so go ahead. Number one.
Okay, so scrape your tongue because 80% of the bacteria will remain in the mouth if you don't scrape your tongue. So
Mhm.
get a tongue scraper. Now, the second mistake is dry lips.
Okay.
So
Which is a big turnoff, right?
doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And so use a lip balm that tastes good and also that is smooth. So you imprint the person not just the way you taste, but the way you feel.
Okay.
You want to taste good. You want to imprint their psyche in 2 ways.
Right.
Huh?
So you get that. You'll
Chocolate,
remember the flavor.
strawberry, cherry, whatever is delicious.
What's your favorite flavor?
Hmm.
Do you have one?
Cherry.
Cherry. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a woman would say that.
I
I
don't
think
know.
women go towards cherry
It's
more
'cause-
than other flavors.
Because the last really good kiss was cherry.
Okay.
That's all.
Cherry.
But I like chocolate taste.
Chocolate's always good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when a man smell like amber, it's a beautiful thing.
What about like alcohol?
They're-
Does it bother you?
I'm too sensitive. Alcohol, cigarettes, that all bother
cigarettes,
me.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
wondering because I know a lot of women are put off by it.
Yeah, I
So don't
I have
drink
a horrible
around
nose. I
Kika.
can know like everything you ate yesterday. I'm like a dog.
Oh, that's troublesome.
That's not good.
No. So all right.
Let's
So that was
moving
number
on.
2. Okay. What's
Okay,
number
number 3 is too wet. You don't want to drool in somebody's mouth, and you don't want somebody to wipe off your kiss. That doesn't feel good. You
Yes.
want your kiss to land and to stay.
Okay. But do you agree that everybody might be different in that some people might like?
Well,
Oh.
not too much drool.
No,
a
not
little
drool.
bit
Yeah,
wet,
okay,
but
yeah.
not too wet.
Okay. I'm just
Yeah.
asking because I know people are different. I know there's.
Oh, that is a taste for everything.
Yeah, there is. Sometimes I don't understand it, but it's true that it's if you're feeling like, well, I'm different, you're not really alone. There are other people that feel the same way.
Yeah, there's a lot of freaks out there. for
Exactly.
everything.
There's so many freaks, but that's a whole topic for
That's
a whole other
yeah, we can have another show about that.
show. Anything else about kissing that you want to
I
add?
just want to wrap it up with the formula for KISS.
Yeah.
And the formula is KISS,
Yeah.
KISS. And K stands for knowing when to kiss. So
Okay.
let's say we are on a date and I
Mhm.
don't know when is the time to kiss.
Right.
So then I start touching you and
You
making
feel the
that
energy.
connection.
Right.
And then I come halfway.
Hmm. And if I meet halfway, we're in. If I
Yeah.
don't, back off.
Then I back off, but I don't get in trouble because we're just having a conversation and it doesn't
Right.
look bad.
Because I think that I'm not going to go too long on this. I know we don't want to spend too much time on kissing, but I definitely think most guys are in that same territory of like, should I? Is this going to be okay?
That's where the 50% guys can serve you really well. You go halfway, you see what's going. See, I'm with
It's
you here.
okay for the guy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
So
the
you go
woman-
halfway, you're talking,
Mhm.
connecting, but you already made a lot of contact.
So the contact will help invite.
see, you
if-
didn't come, but it didn't feel awkward.
No, of course, because we're doing a radio show.
Well,
so
we're not gonna kiss anyway.
If I was in a back room somewhere, I might be a nervous wreck. But seeing as I'm sitting here in my domain, I feel I feel a little more comfortable. But if I was at a party with you and we're sitting off to the side somewhere and we're having a conversation, I think you'd feel the energy. But then there's those times where you go on a date, the person sitting across from you, you're just not sure. You want to, and you want to believe that that person's there with you. So I always think there's that sort of apprehension. Should I be trying or should I just wait till the end of the evening?
That's why you kind of like touch the person and start to feel them.
Right,
And then when I touch you, I'm touching with my whole heart, my whole body, not
right.
just
So you
my
feel
hands.
the energy.
I'm sending energies. If I'm excited, I'm sending my excitement, my love, my
Right.
attention, my mind.
You could tell
touching
just by
you.
the eye contact as well, I think. If
Yeah.
you are locked in to somebody's eyes, you can usually sense if they're, because if somebody's
They're ready or
looking off
not.
to the side or like afraid, then there's probably not in the mode.
Well, there's body language too, right? Like where the
course.
feet is pointing when you are on a date. There's a lot to do with it.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, if the feet is pointing, let's see, our feet is like for each
Facing
other.
each-
We are
right.
interested in each other right now because we are doing this together.
Right.
Right. And then I have one feet interested in that guy over there.
Yeah, well,
Because I
obviously.
like him.
He's a good man. my feet are even pointing towards Farzin, too. Sorry.
So, but then it's so. But if my feet was toward the door, I was really wanting to go
Get
away.
the heck out of here, right.
Yeah, and then that's the body language. Am I like being on my power? If I'm putting like my chest too much, I'm trying to be too much in my power. And if I'm going too forward, I might be overpowering you.
Right.
So there's those dynamics. Or I'm really interested and I'm coming with my heart. If I'm doing this, I'm receiving what you're saying with open heart.
Hi, I'm Divine Kika. I'm here to invite you to my new radio show, this and every Saturday at midnight, to inspire you to create loving, happy, fulfilling relationships in your life and have the best sex ever. I'll teach you tantric sex secrets never known before to spice your life and to give you greater joy. Join me this and every Saturday at midnight. Divine Kika Tantra Lounge, Sex Talk Radio. For more information, go to divinekika.com.
How much of a role does confidence play in this?
Everything.
Everything? So if you're feeling, if you have
For
the
a guy, confidence is
oh God, it's
everything.
and women sense it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could tell a guy who
We
lacks
sniff it far
confidence.
away.
You could be the ugliest, most hideous man on the planet, but if you are confident, there's going to be a woman somewhere
Yes.
that's going to love you.
Yes.
That's something every guy who's listening who's insecure should remember. If you are not the most beautiful man in the world, and I probably share this with you. I'm not the most beautiful man in the world, but you have to physically show that you're confident in your abilities and yourself, and it will invite some women, not all, but some.
I would love to do a show about how the men can become more attractive, and I think one of the things that make a man really attractive for me is a man that is living in his purpose, a man that knows what he wants in life.
Sure.
And has a desire to do something big, something amazing, or he is passionate about life.
Right.
He's alive. He's following his dreams. He didn't give up on his dreams. He didn't give up what he wants to do with his life, and he's putting that first in his life, and he's really following his heart on that. And when people are in that, like I call it being in alignment, following your purpose.
Okay.
That's very attractive.
Yeah, and I would imagine that most women would feel that way when it comes to a man who's not
doesn't matter how much money he has.
right. It's just what he is he
Who
doing
he
what he
is.
loves? Is that him?
Yeah.
Well, this is amazing because we're learning about all these different things. Kissing is obviously such a massive part of any relationship.
So I should finish the formula though.
Finish it,
Being
yeah.
in the moment, being present.
Okay.
And after being smooth and soft. We want soft lips, not
Yes.
too tight.
That's what I was saying. No firm, like
Yeah. And
stiff mouth.
smooth.
Yeah.
And being present, like you said, being in the moment, looking in the eyes, being fully here and now.
Does
so that's the
contact help? Like,
formula.
do you like when a guy touches your face as he's looking at you? Like, if is that something that's off-putting to you? You look like it is.
Well, I like to be touched, but I want him to read me enough and feel my energy and my vibration. And before he touched me, he's feeling me to see if I'm available to be touched.
Okay. All right.
Right,
So
like-
did I screw up your formula? Continue if I
No,
did.
no. That was a
Okay.
good addition to the formula. So
Okay,
that was the
good.
formula.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, I guess.
I'm
So
learning.
we're done with the kissing today.
The most important is, I will say, is being present in the moment, because I do agree with you. If you could read a lot on another person's face and their body language, and if you're not recognizing it, it's probably because you're not paying attention to it. And that's my layman's knowledge. I'm not an expert like you.
But
That's what I
being
would say.
present goes a long way.
Now, you gave me this book. Well, you didn't give it to me. You brought this book into the studio, The 7 Natural Laws of Love by Deborah Anapol, maybe, who's a licensed physician, I assume. It's a spiritual, sophisticated, accessible treatise on love. That's the way they present it here. Now, you wanted me to read a few of these.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just read it and then you can jump in and explain further? Because I think you'll shed some really, really interesting light on these topics.
Sure.
So I'll start here. It starts, this first chapter says, love is its own law. And it's, love is a force of nature. However much we may want to, we cannot command, demand or disappear love any more than we can command the moon and the stars and the wind and the rain to come and go according to our whims. We may have some limited ability to change the weather, but we do so at the risk of upsetting an ecological balance we don't fully understand. Similarly, we can stage a seduction or mount a courtship, but the result is more likely to be infatuation or two illusions dancing together than love. That's amazing, the way that
Isn't that beautiful? I really love the way she
I almost
does
want to
it.
stop. That was perfect. Can you?
So it's very interesting because we have these ways that we want love to show up in our lives, and when love clicks, it might be very different than everything that you planned.
Mm-hmm.
And when that love shows up, you feel it in your heart, and you just know it, and it's just that knowing that feels so good to be with this person. Now, can I identify if it's infatuation or a lot of times we are attracted to the person that has the qualities we want to have in ourselves.
That's interesting. So you're drawn to the person. So if you're
Oh,
very introverted, you're drawn to an extroverted personality.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are drawn to the person that already is there where we want to be or have the qualities that we want to nourish in ourselves. But love, when it hits, it just doesn't call you and say, hey, you're going to fall in love with this person. Oh, this guy is the guy I should fall in love with. Or this woman, she would be a good wife. Should fall in love with her. It doesn't really work that way. And then it's not something we can control. And that's why that list that I was talking about the other day of my 82 items of what I want in my beloved, the cool thing about that is that I have a clarity on what I would like to attract to myself. But am I open enough to recognize when love happens in other forms and
That's very
drink that
interesting.
love in?
So I know you said you've adjusted some of how you think about, you're almost going against some of what
I
you've
might
always
contradict
practiced and
myself.
preached. Yeah, you've contradicted yourself. Does that apply to this? Is this sort of what you meant?
Well,
And how you go and how you position, I shouldn't say position,
how I feel about it?
yeah, how you
Yeah,
stand
how
on
I've
it.
been living my life and my love life.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think love, we can't plan on love, but we can nourish love, we can value love, we can be true to the love.
Mm-hmm.
And then nourish the love is very important.
Right.
So I had this big realization when I was in Tucson last week. And,
Okay.
and I spent a lot of time with the horses and in nature. And there was some kind of longing to be loved in a certain way that has been going on. And I've been talking about my whole life about how everything is inside of myself and the love that I long for, it's here.
Okay.
So if I have it in here, then I'll attract it in my life. And I realized there's a lot of talk in polyamory or in other new cultural communities how it's impossible to get everything that we want from one person.
Do you believe that?
I think we can get it from ourselves. And there is a quality of love and care that we can give to ourselves that no one can give us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have the most perfect beloved, but if you don't have it within yourself, you can't feel fulfilled.
Right.
And once we are giving ourselves that nourishing, that love, if we allow ourselves to receive love in whatever form it comes in, because a lot of times we have a square idea of how this love should show up in my life. Oh, he should be executive that makes this much money, and he should be tall, and he should blah, 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 blah. And this is all baloney
It's
because
nonsense.
no, it's nonsense because it might as well be that the guy that is not wealthy yet but has a promising future is more attractive. It might as well be that that very guy that is a simple guy that is just in the marketing is smiling at me and giving me love at that moment. If I can receive that love and drink it in, it's going to nourish some part of my soul. It's going to nurture it, and I can fulfill a little more of that desire of the love. So the love can be everywhere.
Divine Kika is an international Tantra master, author, seminar leader, relationship, and sex coach. She will teach you to master your sexuality and self-awareness so you can experience fulfillment and happy relationships while living a life of love, power, and passion. Achieve the love life you have always wanted and have the best sex ever. For life-changing relationship advice and great lovemaking tips, visit divinekika.com. That's divine, Kika.com.
in this first paragraph that I just read a few moments ago, it says you can stage a seduction or mount a courtship. As most, say if you really like a girl or a guy, and you spend all your time trying to find a way to approach that person and maybe get them intrigued by you and maybe want them to fall for you. But usually what happens is infatuation or two illusions dancing together.
I love that.
That's so true, because how many times have we thought, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get her, or I'm going to get him, it's my project. But if it's not in the cards, if it's not in the stars, it's not going to happen. If it's not, there's not that natural spark. You can't force love. You can't force attraction.
Or another thing is, I see some women say, well, I can make him be what I want him to be.
Right.
I can change him. That's it. And then you take on a project. Not if you don't get the person you want to love, you're taking on a project.
Yes.
And that project is not going to go well. I
It's a
tell you
never-ending-
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to go well. So can I love and accept you for the gifts of who you are fully, and accept who you are fully, and enjoy and receive your love and what you're willing to give me for who you are. And as I receive you fully and I accept you fully, I give you the opportunity to feel received,
Right.
which is a beautiful gift to somebody.
The best feeling is being fully accepted and received.
It's a delightful feeling. And when you give people that feeling, if you want to move, touch, and inspire them to be better, you can.
That's amazing, because for two reasons. One, I always feel the best relationships are the ones that are grown, the ones that, where you really, really give every bit of yourself and develop and grow the relationship. They say sometimes best friends, you don't realize you're really in love with them. And then many years later, after, because you're so open with that person, you don't feel that insecurity, that eventually it can grow into an amazing kind of love. It doesn't always work that way, but it happens.
Oh, it happens, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
But there's those other side, the ones that are instant attraction, doesn't always work well because of the fact that the attraction is blinding you to the fact that maybe this person isn't really even close to what you want, but they're just so beautiful, or they may be your
But
type.
sometimes there is that heart recognition that happens within an hour.
Yeah.
The biggest love of my life, when I met him, that was like, boom. Like, we met within an hour, we knew.
Yeah.
He even said, like, my sole purpose is this. And
Yeah.
I recognize this is something I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And sometimes those soulmate relationships, I saw the woman that wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Mm-hmm.
That she wrote that, and she had a segment on Oprah, and she was talking about how the soulmate relationships sometimes are so intense because they shake you. They will move. They will change everything about you to get you to be in your purpose, to be the best human being you can be. And they're so intense that they end up not staying because it's too much.
Yeah. It is an overwhelming
And then you
feeling.
end up marrying your best friend, somebody that you like to have tea with and you feel comfortable with, and that might be a better off marriage, because those relationships there, it's too much passion. And
I have to
tends
say,
to be too fiery and then too turbulent.
I have to say, my girlfriend, my fiance now, that was sort of when I first met her, it was that intensity was hard to understand because I had never felt that. What I now know as pure love, purity.
Oh.
That at that time, the first several months was so confusing because I was like, why is this it almost painful. You like somebody or love somebody so much, it hurts
like,
you.
ah,
Like every little thing, like where's the phone? Why isn't she calling? It's been a half hour. Why? You know what I mean? Whatever it is. Then when you see the
talk
person,
about
it's just
that.
like your body is almost like so. It just falls apart. It just like a puddle, And those feelings are just hard to explain if you've never felt them before. And most people who get them have never felt it. And some people never feel it, which is an incredible thing to me. But I can understand how some people would be overwhelmed by that feeling of finding
Now,
that person.
that is a little bit of when we go through that infatuation, when we lose ourselves, and that is not a very healthy feeling because it takes too much out of our lives, and then end up being more a possession or more like of a controlling instead of the love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we allow ourselves to receive the love and the things that we need from other people in our lives, and let the love come in slowly and gently, or in the way it wants to present itself, then we have an opportunity to have a better love, if that makes sense.
That completely makes sense. And it really does explain why most people who do get into those situations can be in very volatile relationships. And like almost like there's so much love that they don't act normal, and it changes and ruins their life, their friendships, their family relationships, correct?
And that comes from what is in the beloved that they long for so much that they don't have within themselves.
Yeah.
So if you are in that longing, and if you are in that relationship that you long, oh my God, I need to see him. What is in that person what is the quality that person has that you need to develop it within yourself? And who else in your life that can give that kind of love to you?
Right.
And then it comes again for the boundaries and desires and intentions in the beginning of the relationship. But when you have freedom within the relationship and you can get that love somewhere else, some kind of love, like I have a lot of friends that give me a different kind of love. A different kind of love. It could be, like, oh, somebody smiled to me and made my day. And then if I really take in that smile, done. I just need to feel beautiful again, or I just need to feel something. And if I'm allowing myself to feel, because another thing that I want to tap into is like, I'm working with a client right now. He shut his sexual energy so much because he's married and his wife doesn't want to have sex with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he doesn't want to have sex with his wife anymore. But he's a faithful guy.
Okay.
And he wants to be in integrity. And what happened, he's so wounded by the relationship that he starts to shut off, that now he doesn't have any sexual desire for anybody. And he's afraid that his sexual energy is just done. And what's happening is he shut off his sexual energy so much in order to be in integrity with the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to block his attraction from every other woman. And the men cannot do that because then his whole sexual energy will shut off. It's okay for the man to see a beautiful woman, drink her beauty. He doesn't have to take action on it or stare at her and let her know in front of his girlfriend. That's disgusting, guys.
Right.
But, like, can he drink a woman's beauty and feel that and feel the attraction, not take action on it, but feel alive? So when you go home, you don't resent your wife because you couldn't feel that.
Absolutely.
And it's not chasing that woman. It's not letting her know that you felt that, but just feeling it and allow yourself to be alive, because the man is a natural hunter and he has to feel alive because otherwise his sex drive will die.
Amazing. It's so you probably are going to change that man's life, the client you speak of, because
we are working on it.
It's a scary, scary thing to be in that position for any man.
It's so common.
And it's also commendable that he stays faithful, that he is working through it, because there are too many that wouldn't do that and they would stray, and that's just hurtful, and it disregards the other person's feelings and so on. But we're going to take a break because we should find out more. All these things you hear about are part of what you do all the time. You are a love coach. You help people come out. You have books, you have seminars, you have private sessions, and this break will let everybody hear all about them.
Yeah.
So they can get in touch with you, because that's as you can see, she changes lives. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have a lot more to talk about on the Tantra Lounge.
Divine Kika is an international Tantra master, author, seminar leader, relationship and sex coach. She will teach you to master your sexuality and self-awareness so you can experience fulfillment and happy relationships while living a life of love, power and passion. She guides you achieve the love life you have always wanted and have the best sex ever. If you want to create a truly happy relationship or to manifest your perfect partner, sign up for private video coaching through Skype and start creating the life you want now at www.divinekika.com.
Welcome back to the Tantra Lounge. My name is Greg. I'm here with the Divine Kika, the host of the show. As the first segment, we had a chance to discover and just explore a few different topics, from kissing to energy. We were all over, but it was very informative. And love, exactly.
And relationship dynamics.
And as we always say, there's something special about this show because of how much it's teaching. And again, we're using your expertise to learn, which I love to learn. I watch Discovery. If there was a Discovery for this, I would Discovery Channel for this.
Discovery Love.
Yeah, Discovery Love. I would watch it all the time because it's a never-ending
Maybe that
journey.
would be my show.
Let's
Discovery
start
Love.
a network together. We have the best videographer in the world right in our room with us. We might as well do it. So, I wanted to talk a little about what is Tantra. You know, you've discussed this on other shows, but maybe you could just give a brief outline of that, so then we can delve a little further in, if you don't mind.
Sure. Tantra is a path like Zen or yoga that uses sexuality as a door to awareness.
Okay.
So what does that mean? Right? Tantra is choosing with joy, choosing with consciousness what brings us joy.
Okay.
So, okay, let's go like we use our sexuality as a way to move energy into the body, to master this body, to make it the highest potential for our mind, for our well-being, in every level of our being.
Okay.
To attract the best relationships, to feel fulfilled. Now, choosing with awareness what brings us joy means that I know my body, I know myself enough, that I'm consciously choosing, that I'm not just walking through life unconscious, and like one thing happen and another thing happening. I'm actually choosing the things that I want to do that makes me feel the happiest I can be.
That's amazing. In a minute, you just really, really did paint the picture. But that means now we should scratch below the surface a little bit here, and ask for somebody who's just the average Joe, an average Jane, how will Tantra affect their lives and their love and their relationships? Why should I invest my time in Tantra?
To be more fulfilled.
In more than just in a sexual way?
So see, all this, like, people think that yoga is about, asana is about exercise, right? That people do it to stay fit, to feel good. But yoga is about union, to feel a union with everything, to feel connected with everything that is. So we do those hard practices in order to achieve that union, that peace of mind, that connection, that fulfillment. And so in Tantra is the same way. The person that is living a tantric life is completely free and is choosing very consciously everything, and it is attracting what the person wants. There is a certain magic about living a tantric life that we experience more happiness.
No wonder why you're always glowing with happiness every time you come into the building. It's just like everybody's sitting around doing their job, their mundane lives, and all of a sudden, here she comes, the divine Kika. It's almost like, whoosh, here comes sunshine and sun rays. And I'm not, it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but you really are always happy. You're always smiling. You bring a positive energy. I dare somebody to not be in a good mood when they're not around you. Is that why? Because you do this? Or is
Because
it
I'm multi-orgasmic?
I knew there had to be an explanation for this. We now learn.
That does help.
That means... All right.
So
you knocked me off the tracks.
A part of the multi-orgasmic. What is it that being this tantric life is a life of power and freedom, where I'm going to get what I want without the guilt and shame of it, without like those past ideas of the cultural, like I'm not living my life accordingly to what the priest told me in Catholic church when I was growing up, or what my parents told me, or with the society that I lived in, the cultural values that I had before. I'm living my life accordingly, what feels good in my heart and makes me feel in integrity with myself.
Okay.
And that's something that Tantra has given me.
You just said something about not doing as you've been taught in your Catholic upbringing. I was also raised Catholic, and I know sometimes...
Nothing against
No, absolutely not.
but
Actually, that's...
any religion.
That's my point, is I heard somebody say recently, and I thought it really described my perspective on that and religion because of our beliefs and what we were told as kids, that my religion is my family, and my religion, I've taken all these bits from all, like, there are a lot of great things about Catholicism, and there's a lot of great things about Hindu.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things probably from Judaism, name it. You take the pieces of it that mean something to you. I almost feel that's what Tantra is, actually. Like, it's just all these great elements.
Yeah, and you're not living from your traumas either, because you dealt with your traumas. When you're tantric, you dealt with all the traumas. So you're not living your life because your mom told no when you were 5, and now you want everybody to say yes. Or whatever. Like
Right.
we don't carry that anymore. We are free beings, and we are choosing very consciously what makes us happy. So it's almost like we create our own Bible, our own way of being, and we're living according to that, as long as we're in integrity with ourselves.
It is your own Bible. That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah,
Incredible
and that's
explanation.
incredible power when we are there, because you're not buying to do what other people want you to do. You're doing what you're really choosing. And then you might choose to serve, you might choose to love, you might choose to whatever.
Is it religion? Is it a form of religion?
No, it's
No,
a way
it's
of
more
life,
spirituality.
like Zen or yoga.
Okay, yeah, yoga, because yoga is spirituality. It is a lot.
It's a way
It's
of
love.
life. It's a way of life.
And this here, I saw this piece of paper you have. It's the Divine Kika paper. She has all these. I guess you're the author of all these things. Sometimes I see, and
I
it says
write
the
a lot.
7 sky dancing attitudes or something.
That's Margot Anand inspiration of what is the tantrika, the person that studies tantra. What is the attitudes that they should have? It's actually inspired by Margot Anand.
Okay.
And one of the things that is very important here is it's to be committed to feel more pleasure, to
Okay.
be committed, to know that one of the things that Margot Anand teaches and I embrace fully in my life is to know that I deserve to be happy, to know that I deserve to feel good. Because a lot of us, we don't know that we deserve to be fully fulfilled and happy. And we create this life that is not fully happy because we don't feel our worth. Or
I completely understand that. It's almost like it goes back to being raised very religious. Sometimes people find they hate themselves and they punish themselves because they don't feel they deserve to be happy.
So I think the first step to enter a tantric life or to enter a happy life is to know that you're worth it just because you're here, just because you were born, and you deserve to be happy. And go back to that bliss that we had when we were babies.
Yeah, every baby just looks like, because they have no stress.
Yeah.
Where's the stress? Or do you feel stress being as this high level tantric teacher, practitioner?
You mean when
Do
I
you
miss my
find
flight
yourself
and then I lose
stressful?
my bag in the
'Cause I can't
airport or
imagine you
something?
ever being like mad, like I can't believe it.
I'll take a deep breath and I'll be really present. And I say, what action do I need to do right now? And then how does it feel in my body? Take a deep breath and slow down.
We
know,
should
I-
follow you with a camera to see to see if when you miss a street
Well,
light.
and I'm angry. I will speak my truth. Like I was mistreated in the airport the other day, and I told the guy, like, you know what? The way you're treating me is not appropriate. It's wrong, and you should answer me right. You are inefficient with your answer, and I told him straight to his face. And I was not being disrespectful. I was being true to my feelings. Doesn't mean that I will be nice. I'll be real to my feelings and emotions, but I will not walk around carrying my anger because somebody did something or this happened, because I will not carry it on with me. I will
Right.
resolve it and let it go or let it dissolve.
So that part of your practice is learning to let go, is not allowing the daily stress and strain to sort of seep into the positive spirit, right?
It's remembering that I'm a choice of the way a tantrika can choose the way they feel. We come to the practice to change the way they feel. It's like come to the husband and say, husband and wife, I don't feel like making love to my. Start the practice. Then you may feel like making love, but you
Right.
know that the practice will change the way you feel. So you might start breathing and relaxing, but you don't feel relaxed. You're stressed. But you know that after the practice, you're going to create a result. So I have all these tools of how to live life better.
Okay.
And I try to use them all. But am I 100% happy all the time? No.
No,
I have
no one is, I'm sure.
I think I feel part of being tantric is feeling fully your emotions. You're sad, you feel the sadness. You're upset, you feel the upset. But you don't hang on to those feelings so much.
Right.
You're able to let them go and let them dissolve. Let them move through you.
How much time do you set aside each day for all of these exercises, practices you speak of? Is it all the time? Is it an ongoing thing, or is it something you have to say, I'm going to go spend about an hour and meditate?
I don't know. I'm in the airport. I'm doing yoga at the airport because it feels good, because I'm not going to be walking around and stressed out like everybody else. I just go to a corner and I do my yoga or do my meditation or listen to some music or read a book that feels good to me. It's something I like what Des says about. Des has a beautiful talk about living the life from the belly, where we go like, how does it feel in my belly? Does that feel good, or it doesn't feel good?
I remember him saying that on the show.
Yeah.
Right? He was on with not long ago, and I remember him saying you could read your feelings just by how your stomach feels. Or you may have even said it actually.
He always says that, and it's something really powerful when we allow ourselves to come to our bodies and let our bodies tell how we are, how we act with this, and come in, because we're too much on our minds, too much. So do I have I don't have a business. I mean, I work from 9 to 6 like everybody else. I might be writing, I might be producing something, I might be with a client, I might be with my kids. I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I have 2
and
kids.
You're fully committed to your kids, right?
Yeah, and I have them 50% of the time, and I'm there. And I teach yoga to school. People don't know that.
Yeah.
And can I manage all of that? Do I get stressed? Sometimes I do, but do I slow down? Do I take time to do my to-do list and look, what is my to-be list? What is in to-do list is really fulfilling my purpose in life.
Right.
And that's another subject. It's like, are we really knowing where we're going with our lives, and we are fulfilling that purpose, and what are the actions that we need to do? Because when we are not fulfilling the things that takes us in our purpose, and then we are out of alignment, and then our soul starts to scream. It's almost like there's a deep sadness and a deep sorrow, or a deep anger, or like stress, or all those feelings. There's your soul telling you, hey, you're not fulfilling your purpose here. You're not doing what you really want to be doing. Therefore, you're stressed. Because if you are fulfilling your purpose, and you have I have an incredibly busy week. Like there was days this week I didn't have time to eat enough.
Right. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's like traveling, being here and there, but I'm doing my to-be list. I'm doing the things that fulfill my heart, and then there are my purpose. So it feels good.
Welcome to Tantra Lounge.
Sex Talk Radio.
Divine Kika is a radiant force, overflowing with positive energy, guiding you to a heart-opening, blissful, authentic tantric experience. This show will help you to expand your joy, cultivate more intimacy in your life, and rediscover the pleasure within your personal relationships. A lot of people have questions out there about Tantra. I think there's a lot of misconceptions, would you say? Some misunderstandings about what it's all about?
Yeah. When I say I'm a Tantra teacher, people look at me like I wish I could show you their faces. They have these big eyes and like a little, and excitement. It's like a little bit of fear and a little bit of nervous, and they look with these big eyes and a big smile, because a big part of them is really curious about what it is.
Of course.
But then there is a little bit fear. So it all means excitement.
I think so. It's a stimulating topic.
Tantra is a path like Zen or yoga that uses sexuality as a door to awareness.
That's right.
And then Tantra is also choosing with awareness what brings us joy. Now, if we're expanding that, like what is really be conscious enough, knowing oneself enough, knowing your surroundings, knowing what your deepest desires, fears, emotions, and send that into how can I bring more joy into my life? And from that joy, expand throughout all those around me.
Absolutely. I think that when it comes to Tantra and sex, it's such a hot topic. Of course, people are interested in it. Of course, they want to hear about it. They want to talk about it. But really, it's just scratching the surface of it. Although sexuality is very much embraced in Tantra, it is really not the primary focus or point.
If any of those things are out of alignment with where I want to be and where I'm walking towards, then it will generate stress.
So if somebody is working a job they don't like, let's just say,
Everybody,
you're an accountant.
A
but
lot
you
of
really
people,
wanted to
like
be a
90%
musician.
of people.
Way more than it ever should be. I'm an accountant, but I wanted to be a rock star, but I settled for this job 9 to 5, and Is it easier or more difficult for those types of people to embrace this way of life?
I think if they start to embrace this way of life, they're going to discover who they are and what they really want. And then they can take steps to create a life that is more fulfilling for themselves.
Okay.
It's like they can learn about what really fulfills their hearts and then go for it. And then they have the courage to go for it, because all the traumas and the things that were on the way of creating that reality in their lives will not be in the way anymore.
Wow, that's incredible, because I think that I've seen so many people in my journeys where I feel pity for them, because I'm like, I feel like they're living just to fit. Their life is just sort of waiting for something to happen, as opposed to going out and making something happen. You know,
there's a lot of people sleepwalking, and that's sad, because they're not happy. They're not happy, and those are the people that block you in traffic just for the pleasure of doing it, or whatever.
There's some of them way worse.
And and I'm sure they're not happy. But can you be happy with what you have? And the first step is being grateful for where you are, and to have the awareness that you want to be something different.
And deciding to make the change and doing it, right?
Yeah, because a decision without action doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But the first step is making that decision. What do I want in my life? And having clarity enough to what do I want to be doing. Now, what does this Tantric life give to you? Because that's what the question.
We
went all over the place.
But we are getting there in a roundabout way.
So what does this Tantric life give to you? I like to say that it gives you clarity to have the direction to go where you want in your life. Give you the understanding of your feelings and emotions, and the way that you have enough emotional intelligence to deal with your feelings and emotions. A way to communicate, to be seen and understood. A way of being happy with your body and feel fulfilled, energized. That use the energy of your body as a tool to revitalize in your entire body, your life. A way to say your truth, to really go for what you want, and to know yourself in depth. And if you that to create the life that you want to have.
Do you define that by writing it down? Would you recommend somebody sit? I mean, I recommend you spend a private session with you, or go to one of your seminars. That's how I would, because I've
doing a lot of work helping
learned
people to find their purposes.
Yeah, and I can tell, because not only just how much you know, and how you will forget in a day more than I'll ever know about this. You know what I mean? You just have an unbelievable amount of knowledge. But is it hard? Like, if I wanted to sit down and make this change in my life, where do I start? Do I just sit down and say, okay, what do I want? What do I want out of life? Even if you're 55 or 60, you can do this.
I can take you to a little process. Do we have 5 minutes?
Yeah, we do. I think we do have exactly 5 minutes.
Okay, so I'll take you to a process.
Okay.
Would you like to do that, Craig?
Yes, let's do it.
You're going to be our...
I'm the sample? I'm the
yeah,
example?
you're going to be our demo.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So I invite you to really imagine the perfect day in your life. And that perfect day doesn't have any of the limitations of what's possible or what's not possible in your life. I invite you to close your eyes and really think, what would you like to, how would the perfect day start? Where you wake up? And how did you sleep? Who did you sleep with? Where are you living? When you wake up and you open your eyes, where are you? Who is around you? What is the feelings, the sensations in your body that you're feeling, the emotion? What is the colors, the feelings in the room that you are in? Who is with you? Take a deep breath into that. Now you woke up, you're there. What's happening? Are you having breakfast? Are you going out? Are you celebrating and having a juice time with somebody that you love? Are you going out to work? And if you are, you're going to the gym perhaps. Where is the gym? Where are you working out? What are you doing? What are you choosing to do with your time? And once you go to that place, what car are you driving? Where are you driving?
Sorry, I opened my eyes.
And who are you with? And what activities are you going to work? Do you have your own company? Do you work for somebody? What are the feelings and the sensations and the emotions that you're feeling that make your heart feel good? And now you are going to work and you feel this happy at your work or something. Or maybe you're not working. Maybe you're playing golf. I don't know. What is that you're doing that is fulfilling your heart deeply? And there's no limitations here. And now you're going for lunch and you're meeting somebody that you really like. Who are you meeting? What are you talking about? What are you doing? This is the perfect day. There's no limits. You could be meeting with anybody you like. Now it's the afternoon and you have other activities, and what are you doing? Where are you going? Are you traveling? Are you home? Are you on a vacation? And what did you do with your day that you're proud of, that you feel good about? Who are the people that are in your life that you feel touched by and you feel loved by, that you're really grateful that they are there? And here is winding down the day, and you say, wow, this day was really powerful because of this, this, and that. What were the things? And as you go to your perfect day, you're going out to dinner with somebody really special, somewhere really special. And where are you? And who are you meeting? Who is with you? And what are you talking about? What makes this person so special? What makes this moment so joyful? And then you're going home, and perhaps you're making love with somebody special. Perhaps you're alone. How does your house look like? What car did you drive when you went home? And take a deep breath into that and feel in, and how would you like to create this life that you just created? That you literally create something. And it might feel like you do have the way of creating that life now, but I want you to, what is the qualities of that day that make this day powerful? You can open your eyes now. What are the 3 qualities that make that day powerful? And what are the 3 actions that you can take now to start getting there? That's a place to start.
Interesting, because you kept saying, what would be what car are you driving? Where, immediately you automatically put yourself in your own vehicle, you know what I mean? Because you're sort of bound by the constraints of your real life. But then I would stop myself and oh, wait a minute, why I'm in a perfect world here, But it also allows you to let go. Every time that happens, it's almost like holding a balloon, and then you're like, I'm driving a Volkswagen, and then you're like, wait, I could drive any car I want. Let me let go of the Volkswagen, and then all of a sudden you feel that open, and then more comes in, and now it's like I'm driving the car I want. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was almost like
focus on the feeling.
I woke up initially in my bed when I closed my eyes, and then you said it should be the perfect place, and then all of a sudden I'm by the beach, and there's no sound. It's just the sound of the ocean. So that does amaze me. That I guess that goes to show you that if you are allowing yourself to do it, you can get there.
And some people say, well, I just want to have more money and a better job, or I just want to have a better body. Well, what is I instead of focusing on that, having more money, what is the actions exactly that you're going to take, and how it's going to imprint your life if you have that more money? What exactly you want to be doing, and how much money you need to do that?
Right.
Because having more money is nothing, doesn't mean anything. Or I want to make $100,000. Why do you want to make $100,000? What exactly are you going to do with that $100,000?
Right.
What do you? So the focus on the feeling and the sensation you're going to get from what you're creating.
So that way you feel that passion for living,
and
as opposed to some unrealistic.
Because you might want something that doesn't make you happy.
Right.
And then if you focus on the feeling of getting that, then you know if that's really important to you or not.
That's incredible. Focusing on the feelings, not just the glory of some, I need $1 million. I always laugh when people say that, when it's like, what do you want? It's like, I just want to make enough money to pay my bills and have enough money, but that doesn't really answer anything, because you'll never have enough money.
Well, I have a financial goal because I know I want to have a certain amount a month, then I don't have to work or do this or do that. And I know exactly how I want my life to be in 5 years from now. Mm-hmm. And I have that goal, and I know I can go beyond that, or maybe halfway, doesn't matter. But what matters is my journey is joyful.
Yeah.
To get there.
That's it.
But having that clarity, and that goal might change as you evolve.
Yeah.
But I think that you say somewhere to start. When I got to see somebody for the first time, I asked what they want the most in their lives, or what they longing for the most. And then I asked for the perfect day, because in that I have enough clarity to know how to guide them towards what they really want. Because I can think that they have a goal of being healthy or being this or being that, but I don't know what their heart is really longing for, and that's so important for us to identify.
Unbelievable journey you just took us on. Believe it or not, we are out of time. We filled up quite a bit of time on the show. We covered a whole lot of topics, but this whole second half of the show has really been a bit of a tantric journey for people who might want to learn more about it. Can you tell everybody how they could get in touch with you? So that way,
Divine, KIKA.com, and there's a little icon there for get onto our Facebook.
Yes.
And I invite you to write your questions, comments. They're really welcome. Even if you didn't like something that I say, write it down there.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Also, you can find videos on YouTube, and like you have all kinds of
Yeah,
different
and then go
things.
to divinekika.com and click on my YouTube channel, and I have tons of videos and free things for you. And there's a free online course if you go 10 Tantric Sex Secrets for Greater Sex, Love, and Intimacy. If you go to my website on the first page, it's there for you.
Yeah, the book is unbelievable. But thank you so much. It was amazing to be here with you again. Next week, will we have anything special planned for next week? Or do we not
Same
know
time,
yet?
same show.
And we will delve into the nether regions of Tantra.
And I have a
Tantric sex.
special guest that is a secret.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for listening to the Tantra Lounge. We'll be back again next week.